Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Sandy. Congratulations for having that guest on. I will be very brief because I know that you're about to move to a new subject.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I follow these kinds of subject matters very well. And yet, even for me, there are some little tidbits of information I didn't know which she was able to bring up. But my main reason with my call is just to emphasize that if you can, I recommend to everybody in Cayman to read that book, Michelle Alexander's The New Jim Crow.
Mm.
I read it, and I remember that when I was reading it,
Mm-hmm.
everything in there was relating to Cayman. Whatever they said about Black people and how they are over-policed,
Mm-hmm.
over-prosecuted, and over-sentenced, I
Mm-hmm.
was just thinking of Cayman. What happens in Cayman? Where, first of all, Caymanians will be discriminated against because most of the time, not because of their race, but just because they are Caymanians. I mean, you can have a little bit of micro-racism here and there, but there isn't much of that in Cayman. And I really recommend that people should be able to read that because it will open their eyes to the system in Cayman. And I wish that some of the kinds of statistics that
Mm-hmm.
she has in that book in
Mm-hmm.
relation to the US, we could have some of those statistics in
Mm-hmm.
Cayman. And as you see, having lived in Cayman for as long as I had, I got to know people who were related to people who were incarcerated for 15 years and this and that, and I really started to relate to that. So I just recommend that book to anybody in Cayman. It has a lot of relevance to Cayman.
Yeah.
I thank you this morning.
All right. Thank you so much. And again, I'm a person who believes in facts and data and information. And I'm always shocked at how little of it we have available here in this country. Even the census, the good people over at the census, when they're trying to collect data, which then the policymakers and the politicians will make decisions on how to spend money and do all these things, we have people in this country who refuse to provide that information out of pure ignorance. Oh, well, I don't want them people in my business. I don't want them to know how many TVs I got and whether I got internet or how much money my household makes. And, it's just like the lack of understanding and knowledge is what is really going to be our biggest. Listen, the threat that we have isn't a